there, and welcome to another ES for Business and Life video. Today we're going to be covering Unit 13 for our beginner's book, and we're going to be covering the grammar aspect. Let's begin. And today's lesson is about describing nouns. For example, an interesting wall painting. Also, we will be talking about ability and opportunity. For example, can we swim in the pool today? Okay, when describing nouns, there are two things that we can use. We can use adjectives and we can use other nouns to describe, well, in the thing in question, the nouns. For example, the one we have before, interesting wall painting. Another important thing to remember is that there is usually an order for this. There's an order to follow. An order that I will teach you. Example number 1. I saw a great movie last night. The word in question here is movie. Movie is a noun, and we want to mention that the movie was very good. In this case, the adjective we use is great. Notice that the adjective is before the noun. First the adjective and then the noun. In example number 2, my sister attends to church camp. Church and camp both are nouns. However, the word in question, or the word we are describing, is camp. But we can use another noun, in this case church, to describe the camp. Now here we have a combination of both. Example number 1, I am reading an interesting history book. I am reading an interesting history book. We have two nouns and one adjective. The word in question here is book. We're talking about the book. And we have two words to describe it. We have first the adjective, which is interesting, and then history, a noun to also describe the book. The order is always as follows. First, we put all the adjectives, and after that, the nouns or noun. In example number 1, they bought an expensive sports car. They bought an expensive sports car. We have first the adjective, and then the noun to describe as well. And finally, we have the word in question, the car. And the result is expensive sports car. Okay, the next item we will review today is the auxiliary can. Okay, there are two important things to mention here. It expresses an ability or an opportunity. Also, we use a verb in simple form when we have can in a sentence. The affirmative, we have I can explain this to you. I can explain this to you. The order is as follows. We have a subject, the auxiliary, in this case can. Something else important to remember is that can is for all persons. For I, we, you, he, she, it, and they. So there's no need to change anything here. It is always I can, we can, you can, he can, she can, it can, and they can. The other example we have here is, I forgot. Well, after the auxiliary can, we have the verb in simple form, explain, and the rest of the sentence or the complement, this to you. The second example says, we can practice in the afternoon. We can practice in the afternoon. We have again a subject, the auxiliary can, verb in simple form, practice, and the complement, in the afternoon. Now, another important thing to say, remember that we talked about ability and opportunity. Depending on the context, we will know Also, depending on the complement, we will know if we're talking about an ability or an opportunity. In this case, this to you refers to an ability, because I have the ability to explain this to you. In the second one, practice in the afternoon. In the afternoon, we're talking about a situation, so we are talking about an opportunity. Maybe we can practice, we cannot practice in the morning, but we can practice in the afternoon. More examples, we have, we can help you with your homework. One more time. We can help you with your homework after class. Number 2, she can dance really well. She's a pro. Let's see if we have those elements here that we mentioned before. We have a subject. Yes. We have the auxiliary can. Yes, we do. We have a verb in simple form. Yes, help and dance. And do we have a complement? Yes, we do. You with your homework after class, and really well. She is a pro. Now, then again, the context tells us whether this is an opportunity or an ability. You with your homework after class is telling us that in that moment I have the opportunity, or we have the opportunity. Let's write it completely. Opportunity. Oh, I ran out of space there. Now let's leave it at OPP. Yeah. Oh, it looks like an A, so opportunity. Yeah, much better. In the second one, really well, she's a pro. This is how she can dance. She has the ability to dance really well, so this is a ability. Let's move on. Now in the negative we have, I can't play the piano. I can't play the piano. You can't go running, it's very cold. You can't go running, it's very cold. This formula is very similar to the previous one, but this time we have a negative. So it's can, can't, or cannot. It's another way you can say it, but this is more common, can't. In example number 1, we have play the piano, and that refers to an ability. Go running, it's very cold, we're talking about an opportunity. Why? Because I can run, but I can't run right now because the context tells us that it's very cold. It is not a good idea in this case. Something important to mention, the difference between can and can't. Normally this is short and this is long. Can and can't. Alright, let's continue. Examples. I can't go to your party. I'm grounded. Example number 2. He can't speak Japanese now, but he is learning. Let's see if we have the elements. We have a subject. We have the auxiliary. We have a verb in simple form. And we have the complement. All right. Let's look at the complements again. To your party, I'm grounded, and Japanese now, but he's learning. In the first one, we have the idea or the sentence, I am grounded. This tells me that I don't have the opportunity to go to your party. And the other one, we're talking about language ability, which is Japanese, so that refers to an ability. The questions. Can you give me a ride? Can you give me a ride? What sports can you play? What sports can you play? Remember that normally in questions what we do is we make an inversion of elements, the subject and the verb, or the auxiliary. Oh, I made a little mistake there. We make the inversion between the auxiliary and the subject, and the result is can you instead of you can. Don't forget the intonation too. The elements are auxiliary, subject, verb in simple form. If question word is necessary, we have question word. In this case, we have part of the complement because it's necessary here. Then we have the auxiliary, the subject, and the verb in simple form. More examples. When can you buy me the phone, Dad? When can you buy me the phone, Dad? What can you do with the guitar? We're talking about a phone and we're asking a person. That situation doesn't depend on us, so that's why this is an opportunity. And in the second one, we're talking about an instrument, a musical ability, so we write ability there. Let's check the elements. We have a question word. Yes, we do. Do we have the auxiliary? Of course, we also have it. It's there. Can. The subject is there too. You, in both cases. And the verb in the simple form, which are buy and do. And the rest of it. Okay, thank you very much for watching. We are about to finish Unit 15. Don't forget to continue practicing every day. Goodbye.